tonight is baseball student athlete Greg Modica. Greg came from Culver-Stockton College from Queens, New York, and was a key contributor to the 1990 team that finished third at the NAIA World Series. Greg could just dominate on the mound. He is second on the all-time school's win list with 20. He was also very durable. He's second all-time in innings pitched with 245 and a third, fifth in strikeouts with 176. Greg was a three-time, played 3 years before he went pro, three-time all-conference performer, including a first-team selection in 2001. And he loved performing in the big game, in the moment, as he proven by his no-hitter on the inaugural game ever played at Nichols Field. He also almost brought another no-hitter today, because we took one into the sixth with Greg in attendance. I'm like, Greg, it's going to happen, maybe with you here. Greg signed a professional contract with the San Diego Padres after his junior season. All right, now, who remembers Paul Harvey and the rest of the story? Okay, the rest of the story. A lot of you don't know, a couple do, but I was the baseball coach at Quincy University for 10 years. In 2000, we played Culver-Stockton College. Now in context, we were really good, all right, as was Culver-Stockton. The team I had that year won the conference championship. We won 42 games, and our first 13 games, we were 12-1, averaging almost 13 runs a game. We were just beating people. Until one day, Culver-Stockton decided they're going to loop across the river and come play us at QU Stadium and send this skinny kid out to the mound to pitch against us. Well, 7 innings later, with a Chris Ingram home run with a home run that day, I'm looking up and we're beat 5-0, the team that's averaging 13 runs a game. And guess who pitched? Greg Modica. And John Shield, God love him, our SID, he found the article. Modica, strong arms QU. With a picture of Chris Ingram celebrating his home run. I brought a copy for him. Not that Chris would celebrate a home run. So, I looked like, I remember this. I remember this pretty vividly because we were good and they just beat us. So, my quote that day, they interviewed me after the game, my quote, their pitcher was just better than our hitters. He was really good. And I remember telling my team that sometimes, guys, the guy's just better than us, and that was that guy today. So, that's the rest of the story of my personal experience with Greg Modica. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to honor our newest Hall of Famer from the baseball program, Mr. Greg Modica.
All right, so in true Greg Modica fashion, I did not prepare a speech. I didn't prepare a speech when I had speech class in this school. So I'm just winging it. But I promise I will not talk as long as Chris Ingram did last year. All right, I got the scouting report. I'll keep this much shorter. I came here in 1998 in the fall. Skinny, 125-pound kid, looking for something different. Okay, it's gonna be tough to put everything in like 6-7 minutes because I was here for 6 years. And for the people in the back, before you're like, oh my God, is this guy dumb? I signed a pro contract after my junior year, and one of the stipulations I had with my mom was I was gonna be the first person in my family to graduate college. I needed to go and finish my degree. So I was like, I'm out. Pro ball it is. When I pulled in here, I didn't know what to expect. Big city kid, right? The first week I was here, people would be like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, yo, who are you? I was very guarded. Probably took about a week to make a friend. And I didn't have a lot of confidence, and I didn't trust a lot of people. So I walked in here and I had one thing in mind, baseball. I really didn't care about anything else. I didn't care about parties. I didn't care about drinking on the dry campus. I just wanted to be here, and my goal was when I left this place, I wanted everybody to know my name. And over time, probably the first inter squad I threw, the whole team looked at me, and immediately I had like 30 friends just like that. I opened up, and it was probably the best 6 years of my life being out here. I made a ton of friends and relationships that'll last forever. A brotherhood, being on this baseball team. Miss Gaither looking at me, and she's like, "You handed me a blank paper on the final." My last semester of college, I was checked out. I was like, "Yo, I need C's and D's. I'm out of here." I promised my mom, and I got too much stuff to study for. So I think it was economics I wasn't doing that well in, and I was like, I can't take this final, and I'm still gonna get a decent grade. So, but this was home for me, and coming from New York, being so far away, I always had a place for Thanksgiving dinner. If we were off for a weekend, I always had someone to bring me food or to bring me home. And that meant a lot, because I didn't have a lot of people in my corner. My main focus was to leave a legacy here. And I worked my tail off. I gave everything I had. I didn't care if I threw 169 pitches in the College World Series. I was warming up to close the next day. I didn't care about my health. I didn't care about anything but trying to win and represent the school to the best of my ability. I have to thank, first of all, Coach Bletcher for bringing me in here. He promised me, I don't care how big you are, I don't care anything about your past. You come here, you make the commitment to come this far from home, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to pitch. And he did. He also let me use his car quite a bit. And luckily I talked my way out of a lot of speeding tickets and other driving infractions from here all the way to St. Louis. I have to thank my catchers, okay? Gary Sloan, who's no longer with us, he was a big part of my success my freshman year. Here I am, an 18-year-old kid, my gold chains weighed more than I did. But Gary helped guide me through, keep me calm. Janis Radicke, he's somewhere in Germany, exchange student, don't know how the heck we found him. Chris Ingram, he didn't catch a whole lot, caught me a little bit. His knees were banged up, but he did catch me in the alumni game in 2014. We absolutely tore these kids up. and Dave Rodrigue, he caught my no-hitter. I'm just gonna give one baseball story. So 2001, Nichols Field was supposed to open up a lot earlier. In typical construction fashion, it was delayed. So it opened up in the middle of the year. Bletch brings me to the office and was like, "Hey, you're gonna pitch the first game. You've been our leader. You've been here since you're a freshman. You had the opportunity to transfer several times. You have the ball." So I'm like, cool. So I go back to my roommates in McDonald Hall and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave everybody here something to remember, and I'm gonna throw a no-hitter." So a couple of my roommates are like, "Yeah, he's just talking, whatever." And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna do it." The start before, the San Diego Padres happened to be there to see a guy on the other team, and I did really well. So they talked to me a little bit. The morning of the game at Nichols, I get a call from Bletcher early in the morning.
That's too much.
Anybody that was in class with me knows at 8 a.m. I'm out. I'm not waking up. So Bletch calls me, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, the San Diego Padres are coming to campus today to watch you pitch." And I mean, I've had the confidence on a baseball field since I can remember. I was like a big league veteran as like I was 12. I walked back to my dorm room, told my roommates, I was like, "Yo, the Padres are coming, I'm putting on the show." called my mom and I was like, I'm gonna call you after the game, I'm throwing a no-hitter, the Padres are coming, I wanna be a pro baseball player, and I'm gonna leave them something to remember me with. So game's warming up, I see this guy unpacking his bag. What I didn't know was a couple of my teammates charting in the stands, told him, was like, yo, my man Bones over here said he's gonna throw a no-hitter and put on a show for you. I wouldn't have been happy with that, but whatever. The last out of the game is made, and the no-hitter is complete. And I just looked at my guys and I was like, I told you I was gonna do that. The Padre scout comes over to meet me after the game and he was like, well, I'll be damned. Your teammates told me you were gonna throw a no-hitter before the game and you were gonna put on a show for me. He goes, and you did. He goes, kid, I don't know what's gonna happen in the draft, but you have it on me that I want you to be a Padre. And none of that would have been possible without the support of my teammates. Everyone, from the other star players to the bench warmers, right? Like, everybody was right there in the trenches with us. Everybody had some sort of impact in what I did. My professors, if you needed extra help, you were struggling in class, you needed to be eligible, they helped you, they gave you the time. And they also looked the other way when I missed some classes. And now, as proud as I am of all my achievements on the field, as proud as I am to have this award, the thing I'm most proud of is my two kids. All right, this little one, it's probably interrupted a couple of people's speeches, I apologize. Sonny and my guy Maddox, he hasn't talked in 3 days and didn't want to shut up today. So, I'm really honored to be standing up here. Haven't visited quite enough. Last time I was here was 10 years ago, but I've had a blast here the last few days. I got to get some alumni back next year so I can go out and throw again against these kids and just let them know the old man still got it. I thank you all for coming, and like I said, I'm honored and I'm proud to have come to Culver-Stockton College all the way from New York.